Welcome to ATR 720, Advanced Athletic Training and Administration. My name is Dr. Jim Ave, and I am the professor for our class. And I want to welcome you to our class. And you'll see on the top of the syllabi, hopefully you've printed that out, and you have it on your screen or something. I have Psalm chapter 1, verses 2 and 3, and King David wrote, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. I like this particular passage because it tells us a person who is pleasing to God, this is what they do. They delight in God's law, which would be the Bible. They meditate on the scriptures through their life, during the day, during the night. And by doing that, they are prosperous. That doesn't mean you're wealthy. It means that you're growing in your faith, growing in your relationship with God. That helps me to remind me what it takes for me to be pleasing to my Father. So contact information, you can see in the syllabus, I have my email, my phone, and text. Since I also have a Q&A forum in our class, you can use that first, because more than likely if you have a question, other students have similar questions to you. But if that doesn't work, you can always shoot me an email, text. If you do call me, just leave me a message, because if I don't recognize the phone number, I don't pick up or answer. But I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you do have questions, please ask. That's what I'm here for, is to make sure that we are all on the same page. So I try to, in most of my classes, not all of them, but in most of my classes, I try to frame the class by some questions that we're trying to answer. This would be another way of looking at this, is what are the student learning outcomes or the course learning outcomes for our class. So one question is, what are effective ways to process and manage change as an athletic trainer? So we're going to read two books that talk about change and how we actually deal with change. The two books are written from the business perspective, but they are still applicable to us as athletic trainers. If anything, in our recent life has shown us that change is happening all the time, and we have to be able to manage change. So another question for our class is, how can we apply different athletic training administrative techniques to our professional setting? So we'll talk about that in our signature assignment, learning more about a particular athletic training administration area. In our last questions, what are gaps in your athletic training clinical practice that you want to make better? And we'll talk about how we can make improvements to our practice in our class. So our textbooks for our class is Who Moved My Cheese and the Fish book. These are both, and these two assignments are going to be talking about change. From the question, the big question, we'll be talking about change. I have separate presentations about these particular books and these assignments with that. They're pretty easy reads and pretty straightforward. They're kind of parables. And then you don't have to buy these particular books. You don't, if you have a book from when you're a student in your AT program, administration book, you can use those. Those are just for your reference. Again, when I sent out the information about textbooks, I said you didn't actually have to buy these. It's just in case you didn't have one. Really not going to use them all that much in our class. So our assignments for our class, as with every class in our program, we have devotionals. Each week there will be some videos to watch, and you'll have a response to those. How how is the material applied to you personally and professionally. And you'll provide 1 or 2 open-ended questions for your fellow students to answer. As always with our devotionals, let's be respectful of one another. We all may not think the same, but we can have a discussion. We don't always have to agree with one another. We can still have a discussion about things and agree to disagree and be nice about it. Just because you don't agree with somebody else's opinion doesn't mean you're a hater. It just means you have a different opinion, and that's okay. And as earlier I said, we have cheese and fish critiques, and I have a presentation about these. The general idea of these 2 assignments is that you'll read the books, provide a 1-page summary of the book, and find 2 additional articles about the concepts from the book. And then where I really want you to spend most of your time is how do you apply the material as an athletic trainer. That, to me, that's the critical thing, is how to actually use the material, the concepts from the books. The athletic training administration topic presentation. This is the signature assignment for our class. And again, I have another presentation about this, but the big ideal here is each student will pick 1 topic of interest. I framed this assignment by saying that you are doing this presentation at your district conference or at the NATA conference, and you're doing a 35 to 40 minute presentation on this. You don't have to do a presentation. You can write a paper, so you have that choice. But the goal here is that you become the expert on that particular administration topic. So pick something that you're interested in, something that you want to learn more about, something you want to grow in, that's applicable to you at your clinical site. Or maybe you want to get another job, and maybe that at a different clinical site. So pick something that's of interest to you, because that's most important. Our other kind of main assignment in this class, we're going to be spending a couple weeks on this. It's called Quality Improvement in Athletic Training. So you know something in your clinical practice is just not working right. You want to make it better, but you're not really quite sure how to go about doing that. So over the several weeks in our class, we're going to go through the process of doing using the the model for improvement process to actually, you identify something that you want to improve on and go about using the steps of the model for improvement process and to actually making a change. You're not going to have time to actually do the project in an 8-week class, but I want to give you the tools to be able to do that. So all the steps that you need to do to be able to do the quality improvement process in your clinical practice. Some course requirements. I'm kind of anal about submitting assignments on time. If you're sick, you got stuff going on, those type of things, just please let me know. What kind of drives me nuts is that assignments due Sunday at 11:55 p.m. and I get an email at 10 o'clock. Oh, I've been sick for 4 days. Well, you should have contacted me earlier than that. Just let me know what's going on in life. We're adults here. Let's treat each other with respect. I've been where you're at. I've been a student and worked and all that type of stuff. Let's just work with one another. Next part is follow the assignment directions. And if you're not sure what I want from you, please ask, because maybe I'm not being clear in my directions. If I'm not, I want to help you to make sure that you are successful in our class. That's my goal, is I want you to be successful. I want you to learn. So if you're not sure what you want from me, please ask. Formatting matters, at least to me. That's why I try to provide, like templates and stuff like that, and try to give you previous examples of assignments, those type of things, because I don't want to focus on the formatting because I get caught up in that. I want to focus on the content. So let's get focused on the content. let me get over my formatting by providing you help with the formatting. Writing, I'm not the best writer. If you need help with writing, please get help. Um, please get help from other people that you know that can help you with your writing. All I know is I know it is not good writing, but I'm not good enough at writing to even help you with it. Forums are considered class time, so when you are responding to one another, I do expect you to, especially with signature assignment, the athletic training administration post, when you're responding back to your fellow students about things, you are expected to support what you write with references. Now, the devotionals, no, not doing that, but some of the other assignments, if you're asked your opinion about something or your experience, you don't have to support it. But when you are making a case for something, it should be outside of personal experience and application. You should be supporting what you write with references, cite those references in the paper and in the forum post. Okay. Check your email. If I need to make updates to the class, that's how I'll communicate with you, is through email. And read any feedback that I give you, especially when I have multiple of similar assignments like the quality improvement assignments. You're going to see that we're going to be doing these several times over the class. Make sure that you read my feedback and make adjustments. Or when you turn in a rough draft for your athletic training administration presentations, read my feedback and make adjustments based on my feedback. As always, if you have questions about anything in a class, please ask. Contact me either in the Q&A forum, email, text. If you need us up a time to talk on the phone, let's do that too. I look forward to learning more about your area of athletic training and administration in our time together. Have a great semester.